Hi everyone, I'm Rosie and this is Flying Flusky. And we If you've seen my channel before, welcome back. I'm very glad to have you. And if you are new, I'm Rosie. I'm 5 foot tall and my last weigh-in from my last video was 137 pounds. This is my 4-month or 16-week update, which feels crazy. I remember in my first video saying that I couldn't really afford to be on Mounjaro and I was going to end up at 3 months at the max, but here we are, and a bonus 33%. I'm an extra month further than I thought I was going to be. But actually, yeah, it saved me a whole bunch of money on food and drink, so it's more than paid for itself. Let's dive in with any side effects and how am I feeling. So I mentioned in my last video that my mood has been really low and I've been kind of struggling with fatigue and motivation. Lots of fatigue, no motivation. That's definitely not improving. Honestly, I have almost zero social battery. I can do the things that I have planned to do. Like, that's fine. I can get to work. I can go and meet people. But just the recovery time seems to be taking a lot longer. And if I have a day where there's nothing specific I have to do, I am definitely struggling to do anything other than like scrolling social media. So I've decided that going forward, I need to set myself little mini goals every day. So I have something that I can get done. So I feel at least like I've achieved something and I have kind of the reason to get up, get dressed, because I don't just want to waste away. I guess I do want to waste away a bit, but you know what I mean. I decided to try and look up whether Mounjaro does cause depression or anxiety, and there are lots of people who say it has done for them, but there are no studies that back it up. In fact, studies that they have done, well, actually at the time, Mounjaro wasn't in the study, so it was more Ozempic and Wegovy, was shown to actually reduce people's depression and suicidal ideation. So far the science doesn't back this up at all, which is odd. Maybe it's just the caloric deficit, I don't know. And the other thing is the hair loss is definitely like getting worse. So I know I just have to sit this one out, but it was sad. I just had a shower and did my hair and everything and had to swat out my hairbrush multiple times. And I am just shedding all over the flat, which I don't think Carl appreciates much. I haven't had any GI issues at all, so that's good. I still have never had a sulfur burp, and yeah, just tiredness. Week 15, I don't really have a lot to report. That we didn't do much. We went to work and we hunkered down at home a bit. We did try going for a run, actually. So I thought that being about 3 stone lighter than I was the last time we went for a run, things might feel different. My leggings were a bit too big, which I didn't discover until we actually started running in the park. Obviously the weight of the phone was kind of pulling them down a bit, so that's one thing. And my sports bra definitely actually fits again, so I wasn't busting out the top of it. But no, I'm still no fitter and I still hate running. So we did it, but it was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle. We also had a bit of a date night at Putchak, which I completely forgot about while I was recording the video. So here's my little reel of the evening as it went onto Instagram without the voiceover. We got a drink beforehand, which was a strawberry and watermelon margarita, which I'm not going to lie, was a bit disappointing. And then after we played golf, which I'm going to say here as well, I won. In fact, I came 4th from the whole day so far, which is like crazy for me. We went and got some more foodie bits. We got a selection of sharing small plates, and as ever, they were served in threes, which actually is really quite handy now because I can just give Carl two while I eat the other one. It's 10 to 12, and I have to go to work at 12:30. So let's do the jab, and then I can get changed for work and redo my hair. As I may have mentioned, I work at the airport, so plaits are not allowed. I meant to get this out of the fridge a while ago, but I forgot, so it's going to be slightly less pleasant than it should be. And this is the golden dose, the 5th dose that you can sometimes get out the pen. Technically not recommended to do it, but this is how we're rolling. If this doesn't work, I have to use the one in the fridge, and that's even colder. Today I'm listening to a podcast called Old Timey Podcast, which I may or may not have listened to on here before. It's a history podcast, a comedy history podcast. I did buy some extra alcohol wipes for things like this, so we can still keep it nice and sterile. Ready for a spritz? I'm going to pop the cap back on carefully, make sure it doesn't touch. Just so I don't accidentally stick myself with it while I'm messing about with the pen. Here we go. Back to my can and bottle opener. Okay, I think you can hear the difference in the sound. And it's like spongy. So I'm just going to retest that it's actually, yes, it is coming out. So this is going to be good to use for another golden dose. Weirdly, didn't hurt at all today. Mystery. So that is a very empty pen. I forgot to leave it in for 10 seconds, so who knows how much of that is in my system. But you know what? Better than none. On week 16, on the Friday, we travelled down to Brighton, as it was Brighton Pride. I got a last-minute spot in the parade, which was very exciting because I thought I was just going to be watching from the sidelines, and it's really fun to be in the parade. Lots of music, running around, screaming Happy Pride at people. Good morning from Brighton. I got up at 6:30 today to get parade ready. So today's a weird one. So you spend all day standing, and I got a spot in the parade last minute, which means I'm going to get, probably 20 to 30,000 steps today, because you do the whole parade and then you're out all day as well, which is good for weight loss. But we usually start the day with a couple of canned cocktails, tinnies, I don't know what you would call them, gin in a tin, something like that. And then at the park, there's only like food truck type food, so chips and naughty things. So it's not normally a healthy day in terms of what you're intaking. And obviously I'm not really drinking right now, so probably not going to be starting the day with booze. And I don't think anything that will be sold out of those food things will make me feel great either. So I don't know, it would be an interesting day. Either way, it's always fun. It's currently about 13 degrees, and I've only got a little bum bag because I'm walking the parade. So I've got this tiny scarf on to try and stay warm. The sun's out there, so it should warm up later, which is good. It is exhausting. Honestly, every year it's exhausting. Obviously, it's usually quite warm because it's the first weekend in August. And then going on to the park or whatever we decide to do afterwards usually takes me a little while to perk back up. This year, I would say I didn't really manage to perk back up very well. I was really tired. So we sat down for a little bit after the parade, popped into the park, sat down a bit more. Then we spent maybe a couple of hours in the cabaret tents. There was a really fun variety of queens, some more traditional kind of comedy and live singing, and some like full out dancing and stuff. It was very cool. We continued to wander around and explore what there was around the park. We had a good half an hour dancing to Gok One in the dance tent. That was really fun. Who knew he was a DJ now? Crazy. And ended the day watching a couple of Mariah Carey's numbers. We decided not to stick around, partly because I was fully knackered, and partly because actually we don't know many Mariah Carey songs, it turns out. She is not our diva. By this point, I was getting properly hungry for dinner, and we were walking around the different food stalls, and I was like, oh, that doesn't appeal. Obviously, festival kind of food trucks, they tend to be quite heavy, quite fatty, burgers and chips and all that stuff. And I thought it was that kind of food was just putting me off. But then we went round a corner and we got to a mac and cheese truck, and the smell of the cheese that had just come out of the oven, oh, yeah, no, it got me. And I was like, that is what we need. So we got some macaroni cheese and chips as well. And then I could barely eat it. I could barely eat any of it. I think I had about 6 bites. I mean, they were brilliant 6 bites, but oof, the suppression was strong. By the time I got home, I'd walked a total of 34,000 steps, which I think is quite impressive considering that we also did a lot of sitting in the sunshine and enjoying the park. The next day, I was still really wiped out. We were sitting around the table chatting with my family, and I zonked. I was like, I need to tap out. I need to get back to London. The thought of getting the train and it being really busy and stuff was just stressing me out. Made it home in time to just sit on the sofa and watch something non-challenging. Original plan was to get this out of the fridge a while ago, but I forgot. And honestly, I don't really have time to let it warm up at all. So today might be a bad one. It's a lovely, fresh, new 5mg pen. I decided not to try it straight up again, although I have heard that the 7.5, like a lot of people really get on with it, and someone said they were having mood troubles and then they went up and they were fine. But I heard that after I ordered this pen, so we'll see how we go, and if things don't improve, then maybe I will look at moving up next time. It's weird that the same drug can have different effects at different strengths, right? And not just stronger of the same effects. Today I'm listening to Wine and Crime, which is one of my favourite true crime podcasts, which might not sound very rousing, but these girls love to rage, so I'll rage along with them. I'm off to Bristol later today for the weekend for a balloon fiesta, hot air balloons. I wasn't sure whether to jab or not for this because I'm going with a friend, and obviously at peak resistance isn't the word. Suppression. Peak suppression. It is a little alarming to when I'm like, I can't eat any more than I've just eaten. But you know what? I'm rolling with this. So there we go, all prepped, ready to go. Let's give my tummy a little spritz. Okay, so I think that's dry. So I'm going to sit down, sort this out. I'll be back in a second. So there we go, 1 dose down. Okay, let's go back to the living room. So that's it, all jabbed up for the week. After this, I need to quickly edit the video and then finish packing for Bristol. It's only a rucksack, so no biggie. And make my food, which I'm actually really excited about today. I've got a warm mackerel and apple potato salad. Thanks, Gusto. But before we get to all that, let's do the weigh-in, the measurements, the photos, the monthly update. I might not have said this to you guys, but I weigh daily, which I know really messes with some people's head, but I much prefer it. I take an average of the whole week as well as just the weigh day amount. I think partly because it allows me to see, like, even if it was not a great week in terms of, you know, Thursday to Thursday, I might have been trending down from the previous week. And secondly, it means that if I do weigh in heavy on one particular day, and that happens to be weigh day, it doesn't derail me because I know that that was just a blip. So at the end of week 15, I had again only managed to lose 1 pound, meaning I weighed in at 136 pounds, 9 stone 10, or 61.6 kilograms. So that's the second week this month that I've only had a 1 pound loss. I don't know if things are just generally slowing down, but it means that this week I had another little whoosh. So it's the same as the last 2 weeks. Slow whoosh, slow whoosh. So I dropped 3.5 pounds, which leaves me at 132.5 pounds, 9 stone 6.5 pounds, or 60.1 kilograms. I'm very interested to see what happens staying on 5 for another month, whether it will slow down further, and if it does, whether that was just time, my body, or the Mounjaro. There's so many factors on this thing, aren't there? So next up we have the progress pics, and I'm just going to share, I can't remember which way around it is. Let's go this way for the original photos that I took 16 weeks ago, and here are the ones I took today. I can definitely see a big difference between these, but I can't see a lot of difference between the one that was a month ago, and now I'll put this here, and today's. I'm sure there are bits and bobs, but I'm struggling to see it. I tell you what though, I must have hit some sort of marker for people, because a lot of people have been commenting and being like, you've lost weight, you've lost a lot of weight. And you're like, yeah. I think also the fact that I've gone down 2 uniform sizes at work in the skirts and the shirts now. And obviously that's sucking me in a bit. Helps. And speaking of sucking me in, let's look at the measurements. This is my measurement table at the end of month 4. Most places I've lost a little bit. There's a centimetre off my neck and a centimetre off my arm. But the thing I'm most excited about are 5 centimetres from both my waist and my tummy, because I'm sure I've said ad nauseum that my midsection is my issue. There's a bit off my bum and my hips, and then tiny bit off my thigh, and nothing from my calves. Goals for weeks 17 and 18 are, as I said, to try and get myself out of this funk, to try and set goals for every day so that I have something that I can achieve, and hopefully that'll help my mood. And I want to try and find some way of doing some dancing, because that is a big old serotonin boost. So whether I'm looking at just learning dance routines from YouTube or something, not in a kind of this is specifically an exercise video kind of a way, but something like that. And in terms of social stuff, to be more responsive to people's messages, because I have been like ignoring group chats and stuff because I found it all a bit overwhelming. In terms of weight loss goals, I'm happy not to set any weight specific goals. I mean, I'm so close to going under 60 kilograms that I guess I should aim for that, because that seems like an easy win. I do hope this hasn't all been a bit of a downer. I don't mean it to be at all. Hopefully the Pride picked it up a little bit, and next time I will be able to share, hopefully the balloon fiesta with you all. The wind does look like it's a bit strong, like it says kind of 13 miles an hour and gusts up to 29. So really hoping that's not when we're meant to be flying, because it's not meant to really be above about 11 miles an hour. But then I'm talking maybe high level winds. So who knows? It would be really fun to share a hot air balloon ride with you guys. Although I'm not going to tell them, I'm going to tell you. I am still quite paranoid about having diarrhea and GI issues in general. So I think I'm not going to eat that day until we've been up in the balloon, just in case. Because when you're at however many thousand feet in a basket, there's nowhere to go. That might have been TMI. But you know what? I'm going to leave you on that. So that's everything from me. Whatever you're up to, keep up the good work. Bye. I see a light, and we can